Hi, and welcome to Transparent with Tina. I am Tina Marx, your host. So, very rarely do I get to meet a celebrity that is so down to earth, so humble, so honest, so determined. In fact, when I asked him if he wanted to promote anything, he said, no, I just want to be here to help. So, he is absolutely amazing. I've got to put my glasses on for this because I can't memorize all this. The list was like a page long of everything he's been in, but here are the things he's known for: The Return of the Living Dead, The Family Business, Scooby-Doo, Nashville, Juwanna Mann, and Tour of Duty are just some to name a few. His story is going to inspire you. His values, what he thinks is important, which is so on track with what I believe, which makes him who he is. Like I said, his story, most people would not have gotten half to where he's gotten in their life. But he is just driven. He's on fire. He's lit. Up next, Miguel Nunez. Welcome, Miguel. I'm so glad to have you here. It's
Finally.
It's been a journey, even just now, because I thought we were recording and we weren't. Okay. So
that's all good.
So happy to have you here. And you're going to be like so elated once this is done, I'm sure. But anyways, I already told everybody, all your background in so far as your career, but we're going to go back and to where it all started. So I know you were born in New York City, but you were raised in North Carolina. So
I was raised in North Carolina on a farm. I was born in New York. My mom, her name is Betty G. Newsom. She was raised in the same little country town I was, and she got the hell out as soon as she could and ran away to New York. And her story is more fascinating than any woman on the entire planet. She ran away from New York. She was a young country girl, beautiful. And she said, the only reason I got 8 brothers and 1 sister, we were all born 1 year apart. She said, the only reason you guys are here because my grandmother and grandfather, who I ended up raising with, which is a whole nother movie, who were Christians, who beat our ass every day, the same stuff you see on TV and movies, raised us in the country. They were Christians. We couldn't say nothing, do nothing, couldn't look wrong, say nothing wrong, all of that. So she said, the only reason y'all here is because your mother, grandmother, grandfather told us every day of our life, y'all better stay away from boys, stay away from boys. She said, as soon as I got the hell out of school, I got the hell out of the house. I wanted to go to New York, find out what the hell it is about these boys that they don't want me to know.
Very good point. Yeah.
She ran away from home. She went to New York, and she had a child once a year. Every year when we got 3, she gave us to our grandmother because our grandmother was on a farm and she needed help. So she gave us, and we were raised in North Carolina on a farm because my grandmother needed, help on the farm. So our summer jobs with the stuff you see on TV and the tobacco fields, cows, chickens, all of that stuff. And every day of my life in North Carolina, I told everybody who would listen, I told everybody I was going to be a movie star. I was going to run away. When I graduated from high school, I'm going to run away. I'm going to go to Hollywood. I'm going to be a movie star. I know it. And every single person, my entire life, said, it's not possible. You're skinny, you're ugly, you're black, you're on a farm, you're in North Carolina. It's not humanly possible.
Okay, so wait a minute. What age did you know that you wanted to be an actor, and why?
From the time I could speak, even before I ever even watched television, because I had not watched television when I was saying this. They said when my uncle had come home, I was like 9 or 10 before I went to school, and I remember he had a car with a license plate that said California. And I remember they said I sat on the sidewalk and rubbed my hand across the license plate all day long going, this car was in California where I'm going to live. It was in California. And I just knew. I knew from the time I could speak. My mother said one time she spanked me, and I told her, when I become a movie star, I'm not going to buy you nothing. And I knew. And when I was in the first grade, I had a jean jacket. And I wrote Hollywood on the back of that jacket because that's what I said I was going to do. So all through high school, I was named Hollywood. And every time, every minute, that's all I talked about, what I was going to do, how I was going to do it. We were poor. I was hungry, but it didn't matter. And so when I graduated from high school, graduated in June, July, August, September, October. 4 months later, I was working at a tobacco warehouse and I got a check, and I just said, I could just run away to California right now. I just turned 17 because I graduated 17, but I graduated before because my birthday's August.
Yeah.
I made 3 bologna sandwiches, and I just went home. I wrote a note. I'd never been outside of North Carolina since I was 3. I call everybody ma'am and sir. Technically, on a mental level, I was probably 9 compared to anybody my age. I was only 4'11" and 70.
Mental or emotional are you talking about?
Mentally,
okay.
because I was so country, and everything, yes ma'am, no sir, yes ma'am. Yeah. That's why I was. And I know it was God, but I went home, I wrote a note to my grandparents, and I was like, because it was like 15 of us in the house, because I had 5 aunts plus all my brothers, and all of us was living in the same house. And there was never a time when there was no one there. But that day, there was no one there. That's how I know it was fate. And I just made 3 bologna sandwiches. I thought they would get me to California. I wrote a note and said, I'm going to Hollywood. I wrote a note. I went to the bus station. I said, can I get a ticket to Hollywood? And they said no. So I thought, I thought I couldn't get into Hollywood because you had to be an actor to get into Hollywood.
Oh, wait, why couldn't you get on the bus?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So later, I found out later, I'll go ahead and tell you. I found out later I was at the Trailway station because that's the only thing we had in my little hometown. Trailways went downtown LA to Skid Row, the worst place in the history of the United States. Skid Row downtown, but a Greyhound went to Hollywood. I didn't know that.
I see. Okay.
But I didn't know that at the time. I found that out later. But what happened was I was at Trailways. So he said, go to Los Angeles. I said, California. I said, I'll take it. I went in the back of the bus and I hid because the little bus station right in the middle of our hometown, and my grandparents would have came by, I know I'd be killed. So I sat in the back, and after the bus started moving out and I started going out, I never, ever, ever realized the seriousness of what I was doing. Not even singularly one time, because I absolutely 100% in every fiber of my being knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that it was going to happen. I saw the finish line in my mind. I didn't see all the stuff in between. And that's one of the things I tell kids. It doesn't matter. Nobody has to believe in you. If you 100% believe in yourself, that's all it takes. And the first time I realized the seriousness of what I'd done, because I thought I was going to get here and I was going to see those big movie lights that be flashing across the thing, and I was going to see movie stars. And I said, when I get there, I'm just sitting there. Everybody would say, what you going to do? I said, I'm going to be a movie star. How you going to do it? I said, when I get there, I'm going to meet somebody that can help. I'm going to be a movie star. I just ever thought. It wasn't until that bus landed downtown LA on Skid Row, and I looked outside, and remember, Skid Row's the worst street in not just Los Angeles, the state of the whole country. At the time, there was a Skid Row slasher killing bums, and that's when I realized the seriousness of what I'd done. I got scared. I didn't know what to do. I remember just sitting there, and I did not know what to do. I just didn't know what to even think, because I was 17, but mentally I was probably about 14 to be in a city. Mm-hmm. And I just did not know it there. I know I wasn't going to call back home. I was a big family. I was embarrassed. It's not going to happen. And I remember the guy kicked me out because you couldn't sleep in there. And I remember going to a movie theater, and then I had a little razor that we kept everybody kept a little box razor in their pocket. And I remember going to a movie theater. It was $2, and I didn't have enough. At a hotel across the street, the Cecil Hotel, is still there today. That's the one where all these mysterious deaths happened. The Cecil Hotel, where the lady got locked inside the water container, and the water container cannot be opened. That hotel. And thank God I didn't go in there. And I went down to a movie theater. It was $2. And I remember I had a $2 left. And it was $1 a night, so I could sleep inside. Some guy tried to attack me inside. I pulled my razor out on him, and that was just God's way of telling me to watch out early. And I remember just walking around. I went and started sleeping behind the bus station.
Wait a minute. You only had $2 when you got to Los Angeles?
Yes, $2 left in my pocket.
And you didn't think about
Never once.
Well, I mean, you said that.
Never once.
What drove? Where was the drive coming from? You said you didn't have a TV, so it wasn't like you were sitting there, watching somebody's craft. What was the motivation and the drive? Where did it come from?
I have no clue. Well, this is what people think. My mother actually was on television at the time, but I can't say that was it. Everybody, when I say that, they go, "That had to be it." No, because I never saw her on TV but one time. It was never anything like she's on TV. But she would come home and it would be really just like Suge Avery in The Color Purple. She was. My mom wrote "It's a Man's World," James Brown's biggest song hit, and that's
okay.
my
So
mother
your
wrote that
mom's
song
in the business, okay?
because.
No.
My mother wrote that song because she was going out with James Brown. She was going out with James Brown. She was going out with Muhammad Ali. She was going out with Jackie Robinson. All of these guys were picking her up one after another in limousine. And that's all my brothers. And I can't go any further than that because I got brothers whose daddies are alive right now who are famous and they don't even know well, they probably know. But anyway, we won't go there. So anyway,
your motivation. I mean, so you
she was on TV. She was on a show called Hullabaloo way back in the day, the first American Bandstand. She was one of those go-go girl dancers.
Well, I remember American Bandstand, yeah.
But she was it was one called Hullabaloo. It was like way back. You probably weren't even born by then. Yeah. So anyway, but from the day I was born, the first day I could speak, that's all I thought about. We had an encyclopedia set, and they would go run out to go do this and go run out do that. I would run home and get the encyclopedia and look up the word Hollywood. And I would look up everywhere they had an address, and I write, "Hi, my name's Miguel Nunez. I live at 640 Cemetery Street, Wilson, North Carolina. I want to be an actor. Can you help me?" I would send out thousands of letters, all throughout my life, running to the mailbox. They never knew why I wanted to run and get the mail. They wanted me. I always wanted to look just to see if something came back. That kind of, I don't know where it came from. I just knew it. I knew it. I saw it. I knew everything that's happened to me. A premiere at the Chinese Theater. I saw it. I knew there was no.
Let me ask you a question. Do you believe in God? Do you think that was God putting that on your heart?
I think that was 100%. I believe 100%. Okay. I think that some people can be actors. Some people are destined to be actors. And I think a lot of actors and a lot of successful people I know say, "I knew I was going to do this. I knew it." Tiger Woods, he knew he's going to be great. Michael Jordan, he knew. You have to believe enough in yourself, and you can accomplish anything you want. And you never ever take no. Because I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to keep going.
Yeah, I want to hear.
I'm gonna skip ahead. So I'm living on the streets. So one day like I said, I look like a little baby. Some guy said, "Dude, what are you living like?"
Let me get this straight. So you get into Los Angeles and you're immediately living on the streets because you have nowhere to go, right?
Correct. Yes, I'm sleeping behind the bus station. That's the only place I know. And they had a little event with the heat come out because it was October. That was getting cold at night. And then I was just sleeping in different places. Then I went down and found a park, which was closed later on. So I'm sleeping under a park bench at a park downtown and it's raining. And some guy said, "Hey, little man, what are you doing out here? Why don't you go on?" I was like, "My name is Miguel Nunez. I came here to be an actor in North Carolina." I wonder why everybody I told I came here to be an actor would go, "Oh, God." Anyway.
Now I didn't
get it. So he tell me to go to the Union Rescue Mission, which, I used to have my picture up. I don't know if it's still there. I haven't been in a while, but my picture used to be up at the Union Rescue Mission because people who graduates from the Union Rescue Mission. I've done hundreds of giveaways now. I'm on the TV shows. We've done down there in partnership with the Union Rescue Mission. I ended up going to the Union Rescue Mission where I ended up living at the Union Rescue Mission. They helped me get on the county. I got a job at Rancho Los Amigos Hospital in Downey, California. Saved my money up for 2 years, worked like a Hebrew slave. Saved all my money, got on the county welfare and got a hotel downtown LA at 1007 East 7th Street, the Ford Hotel. And you just sign your voucher and you can eat 3 meals a day at the Busy Bee Hotel, which was in the lobby. You sign a voucher. And that was welfare. I got on that. Then I got a job at Rancho Los Amigos Hospital. I saved up I moved 5 guys from the hotel, the county hotel, into the apartment with me in Hollywood so everybody could pay the rent and it would still be cheap. I quit my job. I started looking up all the studios, sneaking in, getting kicked out, until I started learning what to do. And then I end up, one day I'm on a bus and this guy's over there going, and I go, "What are you doing?" He said, I'm going to go to a cattle call." "What's that?" He says, "Audition for a commercial." I said, "I came here to be an actor. My name's Miguel Nunez." And I talked like this when the first guy here called. My nickname was Country Boy. And he goes, he said, "Here, you're going to ask, what is that?" He said, "You got to get a pictures here. You have to get pictures." "What's that?" "They said, resume. You have to get a resume." And da-da-da-da-da. He was telling me all of this stuff. And as he gets off, I look over and see him getting off. And there was a park and they had cameras in the park and everything downtown LA. So I get off On the next stop, I go to a copy place. I white his name out and put my name on his resume. I go back and I got in the line and I got the lead in the Gino's restaurant commercial.
No.
And he took me, and then he found out a guy, and the guys, I didn't know you didn't even need a resume. So the resume didn't get it. So, because it's a cattle call. So anyway, he found out, and I was like, hey, that's the guy. And he was like, wait, you got it? And he was like, yeah, I have no agent. He said, I'll take him to my agent. He took me to his agent. His agent said, okay, I'll sign you. I said, listen, just send me more of those cattle things. You can have all the money if you just send me more of those. I want to be in movies and TVs. He said, I like you. I'm going to sign you, of course, so he could get the commission. I didn't know what it was at the time. And then I think the next.
Miguel, did you were you acting at all? I mean, was just no.
Nothing.
You go on an audition.
Wait. This is what you're gonna want to pick up from there when I finish this part.
Okay.
So when I go in there to him, and the next 47 auditions he sent me on, I probably got 45 of them, and I was on a network TV series, Tour of Duty, 3 years later for 3 years, a hit show, and then Return of the Living Dead, and then it just never stopped.
Wow. Okay, let me ask you a question.
That's how you know it's God.
Okay,
Well,
you kind of are ahead of me. I was just going to say, a lot of people would say, Miguel, that's just luck. What would you say? What would you say to that?
Okay, I would say to that, luck is, I don't know, luck is that it's deeper than luck, because I'm gonna tell you what it is. It's changing your wannas into ganas. If I walk up to you and I take 1,000 people and I ask you, what do you want to do with your life? What are you gonna do with your life? How do you want your life to end? What do you want to be in your life? And he say, I want to be an actor. I want to be this. I want to be that. I can go down that line and tell you every single person who's going to be an actor. Because if you say, I want to be an actor, mm-hmm. I never said that in my entire life. I always say, I'm gonna be an actor.
It's the same thing with affirmations. You have to say it as it's already done. Same thing. And also, I do believe that God puts something on your heart and he rewards you for that determination and persistence and resiliency. And you've got to take the action. A lot of people are just hoping. I mean, I'm a coach and I have clients that go, I said, you have to get into action. Hoping and praying, that's great, but that's not going to get you there. You have to believe it with all your heart. I mean, in my book, I said, I don't believe in a plan B. If you believe in plan B, you're not believing in plan A enough.
That's right. That means you already gave up on plan A.
Thank you. That's
exactly. They say good things come to those who wait. I don't know whoever told you that. That's wrong. They say better things come to those who don't wait. Period.
I agree because you know what? I think that, we've been taught and conditioned to believe that, you have to wait a long time, and it can happen as fast as you are as
you do it. That's right.
Exactly.
And listen, and nobody has to believe in you. Listen, no one in my entire life ever said I could do it. Everyone told me, and they were understandably trying to give me the right advice. Listen, you're black. They got actors in New York, Chicago, Atlanta, Philadelphia, New York, acting schools, acting colleges, agents, managers, lawyers, in the union, out of the union. Your little poor black ass, how is it humanly possible? That's what I heard my entire life. But listen, when you know and believe so strongly in yourself, what that keeps you doing is like me. I had to sit and eat out of the trash. This is why I skipped ahead. There were times where I would wake up, they were scratching every day. And they said, they said, you're covered in lice. And I had to go downtown, take off my clothes and spray poison all over me and go inside a shower with about 40 other bums defecating and spitting up. And the worst smell you can't ever get over in your life. And I still to this day, and then wait for them to wash your clothes and go back and put it back on. Wanna would make you give up. If you want to be something, I want to be active. That's the kind of stuff that would make you turn up. Haven't eaten in 5 days, and I sit at the bus stop just because the guy left 2 cookies in his pack, and I missed my bus, and I know the next one ain't coming for 45 minutes, but there's 2 extra cookies I know damn well will hold me for another 3 hours. And that's what Ghana will keep you doing. Ghana will make you stay there. Ghana will make you give up and go home. Ghana will be like, well, I know I want to be, but it ain't know it's going to be like this. Ghana, when I know it's going to happen, I don't give a damn what I'm going through. I know what's going to happen on the other side.
Yeah, but a lot of people would say they can't identify with that. And you know what? I can identify because I've been at this for, I first had this conceptual idea 25 years ago. So I'm still here. I just turned 58 years old. So I get it. I'm still at it after this amount of time and everything is paying off at this point. But I went back and forth with bouts with, am I worthy? Okay. Because I was raised I read about it in my first book with a father that, nobody can make you feel a certain way, but that was the message. It wasn't good enough, right? So I kept bouncing back and forth between those two minds. And I think most people struggle with the same thing, right? You were on a one-way track, and maybe your determination and motivation, not to say that you weren't obviously meant to be an actor and that was put on your heart, but maybe the determination was to get out of North Carolina, because it was like, that was like the real push.
Well, that damn show was part of it. I can tell you that. I can sure tell you that was part of it.
I mean, did you
100%.
have any tools when you were sitting there and you were, have lice, you're covered in lice and you're eating out of trash cans? Was there ever moments where you had a moment where you said, I just know if this is going to happen?
I never thought it wasn't going to happen, but I can tell you this part. There were times where I thought maybe I should go back home and come back when I saved some money. I thought about it because I can when people used to tell me that, I would say no. But I remember this when there was the Union Rescue Mission that they have now is like a multi-million-dollar facility. But when I was there, it was a little nasty hole in the wall with just one room with pews where all the bums sit, and they were leaning on me here, leaning on me there, and that's why I was covered in lice. And that's where I was. And they had a little prayer room in the back. Mm-hmm. And I remember I would wait till everybody they called me young blood because I was the youngest one. There wasn't no young people when I got here in the 80s as young as I am, but like there are now families. So I remember everybody would sleep. I would get up because right behind, it was a church for the homeless. That's all it was, that they would let people sleep in at night. Mm-hmm. Right behind the pew was a little door. And I looked in there, it was like a pastor's room. And I'm like, everybody in here leaning on each other. And this room was completely empty with a pew. So I would go in there after everybody would go home, they close off the lights and close the door and lay on that pew. But I would close my eyes and pray to God so hard, please, 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 God, let me be back home in my bed and wake up and this was all a dream. And I would go to sleep praying to God, hoping I would still be in my room and I would still be there.
Okay, so was faith instilled in you when you were a young child? I mean, did you go to church? I mean, was that a big
We had
part?
to go to church every day of our life. My grandfather was the preacher. My grandmother was the first lady. The church was next door and we owned it.
Okay, so did you accept that? Or, I mean, did you just go because
we had to go
mandatory, or did you accept it in your heart? And
No. I know everything about it. I live it every single day. I believe in it. I'll send you prayers every day. Okay, it works. It's true. I don't care what anybody believes.
So let me ask you a question. If you didn't have that strong belief in faith and God, do you think you would be where you are now?
100% no.
Thank you very much.
100% no. There is no way on God's earth I could have been where I am, got where I am without God. Absolutely 100%. And I was aware of that. And the closest I've ever got to him and what drew me closer to him was when I was down there, because there were times when I was homeless walking on the street going, you see people walking around the street like that, homeless people. And I was walking like that. I literally would wake up in the morning, go, hey, good morning. Hey, God. And I literally was talking to him because I didn't know anybody else. I was talking to him every night. Good night, God. And like he was really there. I literally drew closer. Let me tell you how you know there's a God. October, November, December, I met some friends that were already on Skid Row. Mm-hmm. I was the youngest. I was, like I said, I looked the youngest. I was still the youngest between these guys. We were walking around. It was December, 5 minutes before 12. It was the saddest. I was the saddest, and I was the youngest. So I was walking behind them because I was about to cry, thinking about being at home and Christmas, everybody getting toys, and that was the best time of year for us because we didn't get our ass whooped on Christmas time, so we could have more fun. And I was just so excited, and I was about to cry. So they were walking in front of, and verbatim, I said, dear God, please, 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 God, you can't let it be like this. I'm watching them in front of me, keep looking at them because I don't want them to see me about to cry. So I see them looking down and talking. The moment I looked up and looked at them and I said, please, you can't look at this way. They walked ahead of me. I looked down, there's a big ass stack, $120, $160 in 20s. There's no way they could have passed that.
No.
Like, it was no way they could have passed
No.
it. And I take us all to get something to eat. We get something there, $520. We go, it was a Richard Pryor movie or something. In downtown LA, when you come out of a movie, they had those stores that just had a counter on them. we come out about 2 in the morning now. I'm walking in front now because I'm happy. We done had hot dog, we eating, and I got more money in my pocket. And I done bought everybody food, and we happy. And I'm walking down the street, and I go, hey, look. 2:00 in the morning, everything closed. A huge white gift sitting on the counter of a store that's closed. And I go, hey, look, somebody left their gift. And a white couple walked right past me at the time. And they said, well, it's yours now. And I was like, whoa, a big gift, all in white with a big white bow. And I found it. Impossible.
Yeah,
Impossible.
it was meant. It was for you, right? It was absolutely.
It was God. That was God. And I can go through 100 more times that happened to me when I was homeless like that.
Yeah.
So many times he took care of me. So many times that I asked and I received. So many times I believed and received. It's just, I 100% give him the credit. God protects where God directs. And trust me, you can go out to anything. If you ain't got him in with you, it ain't gonna happen. And if it happens,
with God, everything is possible, and without God, nothing is possible. And I agree. And you know what? Let me just throw this out there because I'm just a straight shooter. I mean, you're an actor. You're successful. You're a celebrity, and I'm going to stigmatize right now, but usually successful entertainers, because I have a background. My family's in entertainment and everything. I've seen people let them go to their head. They're not really, they don't really want to help anybody else. They're all full of ego. And I think I'm going to just jump out there and I'm going to say, the people that I have interviewed in the entertainment field or just very successful people that have made $100 million or so, the ones that want to talk to me and that are willing to share their experiences for others to bring hope into their lives. That's the one commonality we all have, is that every one of us believe in God. And I think
absolutely.
People that I've met that don't, I always say a prayer because those are the people I find that behave the worst.
Absolutely, 100%. 100%. I can't even add to that. That's like a sermon. I feel like giving you an offering.
Hey, listen, I did hear, I know your time is valuable. And I did hear though, that you used to sneak onto the sets. Is that?
Listen, everybody would tell me when I got here, I said, listen, I want to go to Universal Studios and I want to walk around the set so I can see how it's done and watch what it's done. My friend said, man, they ain't gonna let you do that. I didn't understand that. And this is why every single person here, you have to understand. It's like, the concept of that didn't, so I go anyway. And I remember walking up to the gate and I say, hey, my name's Miguel Nunez. Can I help you? My name is Miguel Nunez. I'm an actor from Wilson, North Carolina, 647 3rd Street. And I came to be an actor. And I don't want to bother nobody. I just want to go in on the set and I want to walk around and see how they do. He said, man, get your ass. You can't come in here and do that. So I didn't understand. He said, they ain't gonna let you.
And you're rattling off your address like he cares what you were.
Exactly. Like that's gonna make a difference. Well, yeah. He's not from here. Like he's not from here. So I'm thinking, he said he's not gonna let you, and he said I can't. So that didn't. So I used to also sell my blood plasma to eat because I couldn't get a job and have a place to have an address, all that. So I would sell my blood plasma for $7, and then I would sell my blood plasma. You get $14 if you do it twice in the same week. I would save and save and save. And I went to the Universal Studio tour, and I took the Universal Studio tour, and I was like, all right. So I was watching. I was watching the whole tour, and there was a part, and I said, okay, good, I got him. So I went out, came back the next week, saved my money up, got back on the Universal Studio tour. There's a part of the Universal Studio tour where they said, everybody get off the tram, everybody get off here. Okay, now come over, everybody line up on the right here. All right, line up on the right here. Now, we're gonna go inside, and it was like, they were showing you how the sets work, but it wasn't what I wanted. But so we're gonna go inside. We're gonna see how, we got it set up so you can see how it works. Okay, so everybody come this way, come this way, come this way, come this way, come this way. And while everybody was coming this way, I went the other way. And I walked around the studios. And I went inside. I wasn't loud and trying to ask nobody questions. I went up in the top, and I remember sitting there watching. I was there till like 5 or something until I could catch the last tram and get back in line and go do their little bullshit and take the last tram. And I did exactly what he said I couldn't do, what the man at the gate said they wasn't gonna let me do, the exact same thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I just never took no for an answer.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. Don't take no for an answer. No, because there's plenty that will tell you no. And you know what? I always believe this too. There's dream smashers. Okay. People, when you say that you
Oh,
do this,
I had those.
if they haven't achieved their own dreams, they're going to smash yours. And, if
Oh,
you notice that people that are successful, that have achieved their dreams, are happy to help you.
absolutely.
Most
And there was guys that I ran into. I remember there was one studio, KTLA, KTTV.
Oh yeah.
And I remember I would always watch them. Some of the guys would come in with little lunch pails, like they were doing with hats on and stuff. So I remember one time I went out and bought me a little lunch pail, and I wait for that little thing to come down. As soon as security guard would talk to somebody, I go walk through and be, hey, he go, and sometime I get by, and and there was one black security guard. Everybody else kind of knew, and there was a security guard that knew I got. And there was one black security guy who always found me and wanted to kick me out, and I hated him. And I remember one time after I made it, I see him and he was like, yeah, man, you don't remember I used to work at the studio, man. I used to look out for you. And I wanted to go into him and I didn't.
Yeah. I was looking out for you. Like, I don't remember it the same way.
I wanted to give it to him, but he was still a security guard, so I let it roll.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. I was like, yes, yeah, I do remember you. Yeah. I want to say, yeah, you don't want to chase me and kick me out every time I got past everybody
I took care of you. Yeah.
Oh, I hate
That's way of taking care of me. I'd hate to see.
And that's exactly what you were saying.
Yeah, exactly. Well, listen, we've got the pandemic going. We've never seen the world the way it is right now. I mean, even aside from the pandemic, there's so many people out there that have lost hope, that don't believe in themselves. Do you have like 1, 2, or 3 takeaways, advice for people that are struggling, that never feel like they're going to ever achieve their dreams or desires or goals? Anything that you do on a daily basis, a ritual that will help them get closer to where they want to be?
Listen, all I can tell everybody, every single body it's not what you're going through. Even when I was coming up, every situation you ever saw me in, there were times where I had a 3-day notice letter in my pocket, and I was on the last day, haven't eaten in a week, didn't know how to build. My lights were about to go off. And every time you saw me anywhere, people would say, who is that guy? They thought I was some rich child's son. Who is that guy? That's the happiest little MF I have ever seen in my life. I've never seen anybody. Oh, that's that. Everybody thought I was some rich person's son. Mm-hmm. It's not what you go through. It's how you react to what you go through. Everybody is going through it. Just remember one thing. Tomorrow is the first day of the rest of your life. That's all you got to remember. Don't keep looking at what you haven't done, what you think. Don't look at what you haven't done, or what you should have done, or what you think you could have done, or what somebody else has done. Tomorrow is the first day of your life. When you get up tomorrow, say, you know what? Forget about the past. You can accomplish anything, but you got to figure out what the hell it is you want to go after. You can't go after something unless you know what it is. And once you determine what it is, take some time. Disconnect, turn your phone off, turn everything off, and spend some time and find out what you want to do. And once you find that, go for it. And don't say I want to do it. Say I'm gonna do it, and go for it.
Only tell people that have achieved their dreams. Don't be telling people let that get in the way. Yeah.
Please say that again.
Don't only tell people that have achieved their dreams. Don't tell people that have not achieved their dreams, because they will take you down. I mean, I said this before. This last year, I had to let go. There was 6 people. The one back in my life, there was 6 people that were dragging my life down. And I'd rather be alone than around people that are going against me, or
right. See, some people don't like you around because your spirit irritates their demons.
Bingo. Absolutely. Because when there's a lot of light, the darkness is not like that, right?
Say anything against you. They don't like this light around.
No.
They're irritated when you're around.
And it also makes them take a look at themselves, and why have they not achieved it? You know what I mean? Because you can sit there and you can make excuses. Oh, that person's lucky. And let me tell you something. I came from the opposite. I came from a very affluent family, okay, where I had everything. I had a tennis court in my backyard, and I raised on a golf course, private schools, private lessons, everything. I could never have been so afraid or alone because of the message that my father, I grew up afraid. So, you know, when people say, if I just had the money or I just had the education, that
Nope.
is such a crock of shit, because you know what? I didn't really start evolving until I found metaphysics to change my thinking and started believing in myself and applying the principles and getting closer to God. And that's really what changed everything, because I lost everything about 4 years ago. And I'm telling you, I kept hearing in my ear, hey, I don't think this is a good idea for you to be here anymore. Seriously. But I have a
Wow.
son, I'm a single mom. And I said, that's the only reason I'm still here. And you know what I kept hearing? Just keep going. That's what I kept hearing. Just keep going.
Just
And you
keep
know
going.
what? One step at a time.
That's it.
Yeah.
And you do anything. If you try to look at the whole totality, everything, that's what make you give up. One step at a time.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
And God protects where God directs. Keep God first. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not to your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your path. I don't care what anybody says. Wait, you think that's and all? I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't care if I understand it. I don't care if you say it can happen.
Right.
I don't care if you say it's not possible. I don't want to hear that from you.
I agree. I agree. And I think with
But
that,
whatever you're doing it right, because you look absolutely beautiful.
oh, well, thank you, Miguel. It's such a pleasure having you on. Seriously.
Anytime. I do it anytime.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. And thank you all for tuning in. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, it's Tina Marks TV, and my podcast is Transparent with Tina.
And you want to follow me? Yeah, you want to follow me at M Nunez Jr. MNUNEZJR.
And that's on Instagram?
Correct. Yeah, and I do a lot of free acting class tips on there for people because they can't afford it. So
love it. Perfect. Okay. And
right,
we're going to also include that in the content in the show too. Okay.
All right.
All right. I'm going to have you back on. Mwah.
Anytime.
All right. Thank you. Have a great day.
See you later, most beautiful.